Greetings, beautiful souls. This is Bevan Neiman Cortez coming to you with a 3-part oracle reading. And this is specifically for those who are stepping across a threshold, right? You are entering a portal. You are making a dramatic change in your life, whether that is changing from one career field to another and looking to find ways to transfer your skills, whether you were very deeply involved in raising your children and supporting their needs, and now they're gone off to college or beyond, and you're really looking at, well, who are you now? Maybe you have lost someone very dear to you in your life, and you're trying to rebuild after that absence. Perhaps you are feeling that the place that you live in is no longer supportive of you, that it's not the right energy, that you feel really drawn to another place to be, and you're not sure quite how to get there from A to Z. So let us begin. First, I have some incencio. Let's light this here. My husband and I, Juan, are just getting over. Ooh, that's interesting. We saw that the flame did not take the first time. So there may be something that you've tried. It did not succeed, but now you're invited to try again. And let's just cleanse the cards, which I have already pre-drawn. Each morning I do a card draw to sense the energy. And this morning it felt really important to share this message with each of you. So this is aloe vera, which is a healing plant. It is also a plant that holds a lot of nutrients, a lot of water. So it has a retention quality, right? And it is also something you can put on burns, wounds, and it helps the skin and the cells to heal and knit themselves very quickly. So let's put this over here. And again, maybe there's something that you tried the first time and it didn't work out, whether it was a relationship, a career path, a project, something of that nature. But there is a second chance here. There is a second chance. So let's begin with our first card. We have the come to life card, right? And you see this person beginning to paint herself back into color after being through a period of feeling very black and white, feeling very perhaps under the weather. Maybe you went through an illness, maybe you went through a loss, but somehow something that happened in your life took all the color away, right? You just felt that everything was gray. And I love here that she has this monkey spirit, right? He's holding literally the pot of paint, and he's sitting there inviting her to get back into her joy, get back into her play. And when I say her, it can be any gender. I'm just speaking of the visual from the card. And we see here the raven spirit right next to her ear, and she's closing her eyes and listening in and trusting, dipping her paintbrush into the paint, painting herself back, right? Regaining that energy. And of course, with the circumstances of our world, it can feel really overwhelming right now. We might numb out. We might say, I don't want to look at this. I don't want to watch the news. I can't stand to see the things that are happening. So whatever this is for you, there's been a period where you did not feel like yourself. And this period, this liminal space of going from feeling one way and having color in your life and knowing who you are to feeling like I don't have any idea who I am. And going through that reinvention process can be really challenging, but this shows that you have allies, whether these are people in your life. Maybe you have a friend, a family member who's a joker, who's always lightening the mood and is teaching you how to do that for yourself. When you have those thoughts of desperation or depression, there is a part of ourselves too that we can access, that sort of inner child, that inner joy spirit. And you can see the butterflies are starting to emerge, right? So this is a time for you when you are in an emergence. It's like when you've been a caterpillar in the cocoon and you're just now coming out. And this is the time to be tuning in, to be engaging in meditation, ecstatic dance, listening to uplifting music, going out and doing something fun, finding an event or something in your community where you can start to come back to life again. And it feels so difficult when we go through this process, when we go through this liminal space period, because when we come back out, we don't know who the hell we are. We don't know what we're doing. We don't know where we're going, right? We feel ungrounded. But it's a process of gently painting yourself back into life. And now you get to recreate. You get to choose whatever colors you want. You get to adorn yourself in whatever way you wish. You get to try things that you've never tried before. And it's really scary. And it's also really exciting at the same time, right? There's a little bit of element of the sacred fool. Okay, the sacred fool, right? So we go from this kind of energy, feeling really gray and numb and uncertain, to and really embracing that joy, right? So the sacred fool is a jester. They like to play. They like to make jokes. They like to use sarcasm. They like to do things that maybe other people feel are inappropriate. They like to test the boundaries. They like to eliminate convention and say, yes, I know this is how I'm supposed to be doing things or how my life is supposed to look, but I don't give a fuck, right? So this is really that energy, the play, the joy, right? And here she has the marionette. So the marionette is a really interesting archetypal symbol in that whoever controls it basically gets the marionette to do what they want, right? So this can be a symbol of control, and that control is returning to you. Okay, so maybe that control has felt outside of your body. Maybe it's felt like it was a government that was controlling. It was an employer that was controlling. It was a relationship that was controlling. And now you're like, no, it's me. I'm the one who's deciding my life. I'm the one who's deciding my path. And if I want to be inappropriate and a wild woman, a wild man, a wild non-binary person, whatever you are, I'm going to do so. And I don't care anymore about what other people think about my life choices because I'm the one living it, right? So this is a huge jump when you begin to access that fun and that joy and that irreverence, if you will, for having to do things the way you used to do it. Maybe you're leaving a corporate position, starting your own business. Maybe you are moving like I did to a rural town in Mexico and deciding to live off the land and homestead and learn permaculture. You are taking a path, my friend, less traveled. And I know you don't understand yet where that's going. Okay. I can definitely relate. I'm in this space as well. That's why this reading came forward for my energy. But there's so many people who are reinventing themselves that I wanted to share it with you. And once you let go, and once you have fun, and once you really dive into what do you really love, okay? Not what you're supposed to do, not who you're supposed to be, but who do you really want to be? How do you really want to show up? Our souls came into these bodies, and these are a personality. It's like a personality suit, right? I'm Bevan, you're whatever your name is. And we play these roles. And if we played certain roles in the past, we can certainly change and play different roles in the future. And this is about becoming consciously aware of who you are, how you show up, and what role you want to play, what jobs you want to have, what relationships you want to have, what hobbies you want to have, where you want to live, and how you want to live. and what your core principles are. And this is really what it's about, is getting down to those, because no matter what happens externally in your relationships, your workplace, whatever, we have to live by those core principles, right? And this is where the third card really comes into play. Big, bold vision, okay? So she's no longer looking down, being submissive, not unsure about her life. She's gone through the process of accessing her joy, asking really powerful questions about, what do I really love? What will make me happy? What do I want my marionette to be? And now we have the big, bold vision, right? She's looking straight at life. She's fully tuned in. The bee spirit is right here at the third eye. The bee spirit is a pollinator, right? It's an essential pollinator for our planet. If we don't have bees, we don't have humans. So she's choosing something that is vitally essential to her happiness. And not only that, but her sacred leadership, okay? She has this essential aspect in herself, and there's a lot of activation right here. This is a scarab beetle right here at the throat chakra, right? So the beetle has this hard shell, but inside is who you really are. And this is what the whole journey of life is about, my friends, is finding our big, bold vision. And that vision can change for you over time, and it will change. If you think about who you were when you were, say, 20, who you were when you were maybe 30, 40, 50, 60, depending on where you are in the lifespan, 70, you have changed, adapted, learned more about yourself, gone within, done the work. And now it's time for something new. So I'm really curious to find out, and I hope that you, leave a comment if you see this on YouTube, or if you're on my email list, go ahead and, click reply and tell me, like, what is your big, bold vision? If you could do anything, if you could be anyone, what would it be for you? What have you not dared to talk about to others because you think it's unrealistic? It's not achievable. Well, I have a single coaching session called Firm Foundations that will help you move through this threshold. And there's no obligation to do more than one. You can if you wish, but in one session, we will really get into this. What is this for you? What is this? What is your fun? What is your joy? What is your passion? What do you really want? And then how do we identify concrete, actionable steps for you to start moving towards that goal? Because often when we come to life, we start to dare to listen to our soul, to our intuition, but it seems really overwhelming. It seems like I can never have that, do that, be that, move there, find that job, build that business, have that relationship. But you can. And it may not turn out exactly how you think. It may be different. But if you open yourself, right? So if you've been in a period of being really closed off, of really holding yourself tight, like that scarab beetle, holding that hard shell, it's time to release, my friends. It's time to play. It's time to be a little irreverent. It's time to stop caring so much about what other people will think. Because at this time in human history, we have more opportunity than ever. Not every single person, but a lot of people have more opportunity to reinvent themselves. And that process isn't easy. And I have been a guide and a supporter for sensitive people making these type of transitions for the past 9 years. And I would be honored to sit down with you for an hour and really draw this out, really find out, what is your soul saying to you? We'll take a journey through your chakra system, listening at every single level. What are the concerns? What are the invitations? We'll do this energy cleansing, and then you can open your energy field for the possibilities that are just waiting for you to take them. There is a link to sign up and get a time on my calendar for this. It's a reasonable cost. I tried to keep it reasonable. I know a lot of people are, challenged economically right now. So let's tune in together. Let's find your sacred fool. Let's find her, him, them. Let's find them. Okay. And let's get your big, bold vision started. Because you already have all of this aspect within yourself. You have this sacred leadership. You have this vision. At some level, you understand exactly directly where you are going. We just need to bring that to your conscious awareness. And we need to open this throat chakra, right? We need to open this throat chakra so that you can speak it out. Because once you speak it out, it's really powerful. It's a spell. And you start to say, this is what I really want. And then what happens when your heart is lit up, when your mind is excited about this possibility, then you begin to take small actions day after day after day until you get to that place where you feel so much different than this. And that's what I want for you. That's what I want for everyone. So I'd love to connect with you. The link is here. I hope to see you soon. Namaste, my friends. So let that aloe vera just permeate. Cleansing, purifying. That chapter of your life is done now. The gray is fading away and you're getting to the brilliant colors that you are meant to express. Be well and see you soon.